Hey beauty, it's Risa coming to you live on Friday for some heart-to-heart conversation. I am here to talk to you today, my darling. If you are unhappy in your relationship and you're just feeling really frustrated and stuck and maybe struggling with that question about whether or not you want to stay in it. And so let's talk about, what do you really need? What do you really need to be happy? And let's look at our expectations. Are they too low? Are they too high? So yeah, type in, say hi if you're here with me live, or if you're on the recording, and type in any questions, comments as we go along. I'll be going back to look for those. So expectations, yeah, you should expect to be with someone that you enjoy spending time with, that you deserve to have someone who it feels like a loving, supportive relationship, of course. Someone, you feel like you have each other's back, like you're on the same team, and that you're both contributing in a mutually beneficial way to the household, if you're living together, or your relationship. Physical safety and emotional safety at a bare minimum. Like, bottom line, I mean, if that's even a question for you, then that's actually a different conversation. And I would encourage you to, if you feel at all unsafe physically or emotionally, to contact the domestic violence hotline and get some support there. But you know what? For most of us, I think the mistake that I made, and that I see most women making, is that I just was depending way too much on my partner to make me happy, to just give me that sense of love, that security. And it wasn't until he really started struggling with alcoholism and depression, and he really went down, that I realized, wow, I cannot make my emotional well-being dependent on another person and how they're showing up or not showing up, not even showing up for themselves. And my expectations, I feel bad kind of looking back on it now, because I was needing so much for him to be something that he wasn't capable of being. I used to go to a lot of Al-Anon meetings, which I highly encourage if any of you are in that situation where your partner's struggling with substance abuse. But we expect them to run when they don't even have feet to stand on, and so maybe your situation's different, but honestly, it's like, I think we're all just kind of doing the best we can to make ourselves happy. Would you agree? And so it's no one else's job to make us feel happy. Like, that's our own responsibility. And so that, I see that as like the root of a lot of the challenges, and I would call that just like a codependency. But you can call it what you want, whether you relate to that term or not. But I know, like, I didn't at the time, I didn't even know what that word meant. But I definitely was. I was depending. It's like when we're depending too much on another person for our sense of emotional well-being. So I would just invite you to take a breath and just reflect on that for yourself. Like, am I needing this other person to fill something in me, some need for security, or some void in me? Or, am I perfectly happy and peaceful to just be by myself and feel held and loved by a higher power, by a loving source? And so I think that's, we're kind of taught that way, sort of cultural too. We're sort of taught that way. It's like two halves, my other better half, or, he completes me. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. Two halves don't make a whole. It's like, we have to come to the relation for a good, healthy relationship. We're looking for a healthy interdependence, right? And so both people are responsible for their own emotional well-being, for their own, taking responsibility. We have to take responsibility for ourselves and our side of the street. And so if you're in something right now that you're not happy in, that's really, that's really the first step. That's where the clarity is going to come from, is from us looking at any kind of codependent patterns or any unhealthy patterns of relating that maybe undermining just our own ability to be happy with ourselves, and also just creating that kind of expectation where we're always feeling disappointed. I call that kind of expectation when we're needing someone else to make us happy. I call that a disappointment waiting to happen. And I know that one well. So so just for reflection today, just a question like, am I looking to this other person to make me happy, to do something, to make me feel a way that like I really need to be getting from myself? So, that's my mission. I'm on a mission now. It's like I've been working all these years to get into a place where I feel good about who I am, and I want that for you too. That's all I want. I just want to be able to feel free to be myself, to show up authentically, and speak my truth, and have healthy boundaries. And so that's the work that I'm here to help you with too. And that's where the clarity comes from. It's like when we, you're 50% of the equation, right? And so I always say the relationship's like a dance, and probably not so fun right now, but if we start to get our focus back on ourselves, we start to change how we're showing up, and we get in good, right relationship with ourselves, changes the dance. And so how are you going to know? That's how you're going to get to that place of real clarity. It's like, all right, let me sort of clean up my side of the street. Let me do my own inner work so I can show up as the best version of me, the most loving version of me, and where I'm not coming from that place of needing you to change, for you to be different in order for me to be happy. And that's not to say that there aren't things that like that you should not be accepting unacceptable behavior. Like that all goes along with, being able to set healthy boundaries, and we probably need to up-level our communication skills. So that's not to say that there aren't things that wouldn't need to change in order if you want to stay and be happy with this person. But, at least then, this is what I call my relationship clarity process, is we do our own inner work. So we show up for ourselves first, and, and get into good relationship with ourselves, good, right, loving relationship with ourselves, and release these old patterns so that they're not running the show, so we can really see clearly. Because those are the kind of things that, if I'm needing this person in order, if I'm depending on this other person in order for me to be happy or feel secure, then I'm in trouble. We're in trouble, because first of all, nobody can do that for you, and then we're at the mercy of how they're, the choices they're making and how they're going to behave. So I don't know about you, but I want to feel empowered. I want to feel strong and empowered and free and whole. And then let's come together and see, well, now can he dance with me now? Is he leaning in? Is he leaning out? In the meantime, I know I'm okay. I'm going to be okay no matter what, because I'm happy with me, and I feel, whatever your understanding of, your spirituality is. We're all on our own understanding and journey with that. But for me, like, that's really essential too, because, if we don't have that sense of, we're being loved and cared for, and that everything's going to be okay, then we're automatically, we're leaning on other human beings. We're leaning on other people for that. And then, like I said, then we're kind of at the mercy of how they're going to show up in order to determine how we feel, and then we're in that codependent situation. So I hope this is helpful for you today. So I would invite you as an action step to just take some time. If you can just even take a few minutes for some quiet time to just be with yourself. Be nice to yourself. Be loving to yourself. What's one thing I can do to make myself feel good today? I know I talk a lot about that, but it really is where we need to start. And so I'm really excited to offer you all, I'm going to be doing a virtual half-day retreat next weekend, actually, Saturday, April 22nd. I'll put a link in the comments if you're interested in coming. It's going to be really powerful. I'm going to really transformational. We're going to really take a deep dive into how do we do all this? What, getting crystal clear on what really do you need to be happy? What kind of, things should we expect from our partner, and how do you create that real connection? And the number one mistake that women make when they're trying to get their needs met in a relationship. We're going to talk about what does it really take to create that real, authentic, loving partnership. How do we release these unconscious patterns, conscious or unconscious patterns that are preventing us from really showing up authentically, from speaking our truth, and from setting good, healthy boundaries. And I'm going to share with you my step-by-step process for clear, empowered decision making, so that you can make the choices that honor who you are and what you need moving forward. So I love you. Click that link if you want to come on over and join us. It's going to just be $47. It's actually what I call a beta test program. I'm just trying out. It's for a little sample of a longer group program that I'm in the process of creating. And so it's just an opportunity to get an experience with it, with all of you in a group, and get your feedback. So it's really inexpensive. It's just $47 for a half a day virtual retreat. So check it out. I'd love to have you there. I've got a few more spaces if you want to come, and let's get free. Let's get empowered. Let's figure out what direction we want to move in our life so you can be happy. You deserve to be happy. And if you're in a relationship that you really feel like it's kind of run its course, then it's time for us to get the support we need and get the tools we need to really be in good alignment with ourselves and our truth, and be able to make those clear, empowered choices to be able to move ahead and know that we can be happy no matter what. All right, darling, I love you. Take good care of yourself. Click that link if you want to join us for the retreat, and I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.